Hi there. So this is my week 5 response. I'm going to respond to the question posted by Drew Davis. His question was, are there any international or domestic policies or methods that you think governments around the world can put into place to help, if not eliminate, mitigate the issue of terrorism on a low level? So my answer to this is yes, but it's very limited. So there will always be terrorism, that is a fact. There will always be angry young people willing to fight for a cause they wholeheartedly believe in. With the history of terrorism that we've seen, it becomes apparent that terrorists learn to adapt to new policies or restrictions that we place on them in order to achieve their initial goals. So they attack because they feel strongly about the cause and will do anything to further their cause. I think that an aspect of terrorists that people tend to forget is that they actually are passionate about their beliefs, and the acts they do are a response to that. So if we increase state security, they could still get through already into that state, or they could actually already be there. Examples are the attacks in Europe and here, where the attackers or terrorists were already registered citizens in that state. We could limit who accesses entry, examples, migrants or refugees, but that could also not work. It could kind of backfire. So, an example would be people not wanting the Syrian refugees recently to enter the country because they're afraid of terrorist militants getting through from the recent attacks that we experienced. But I kind of think, wouldn't it be bad to deny them entry? Um, kind of make them Could it make them susceptible to other terrorists and influence them, and be recruited easier? So it could make terrorists access to other people easier and get more people on their side, because when we refuse to let the Syrian refugees in, they could feel discriminated against and then decide to join the terrorists because they're angry. Um, Also, as occurred many times, terrorist organizations are birds from interference of Western countries. So essentially, they are trained and given weapons to further a cause to promote the West. The interference led to creation of Al Qaeda and ISIS. So those are two examples of where we interfered and created a group that eventually backfired and became a terrorist organization. So I guess one domestic and international policy that governments could put into place would be to not support these organizations to begin with, that carry the terrorist ideals, even if it furthers our own country's immediate goals, be it financial or political. Our readings outline on page 281 that terrorism in many cases can be seen as a reaction to globalization and the spread of capitalism and its evils. This secular globalization leads to religious and ethnic fragmentation. People from one group feel threatened by the other. So, with globalization and migration of people, I don't see that there being a sufficient solution to terrorism because some groups out there always feel threatened by another. So the initial question, are there any policies that we can to eliminate or mitigate to a low level terrorism? No, not wholeheartedly. There's nothing that's ever going to create it at a low level, but there are some policies that we could put into place that maybe limit a little bit, but terrorists will always be evolving to those policies that we do put into